Hello traders, Gary Wagner here, just after 11 o'clock in Honolulu, 4 o'clock in New York. It is Thursday, 10th day of November, 2016, and this is the Daily Report for Gold and Silver. This has certainly been a week to remember with extreme volatility in the market, extreme action, and today a basic disconnect between gold and silver pricing, as you'll see when we look at the prices, with one down substantially, the other one up substantially. Reasons for that, obviously, we have a moving target as President-elect Trump transitions into office, and the sense is that that would be a very much more hawkish tone in terms of the Federal Reserve and his stance on monetary policy. So that has really bled into these pricings. Also, staging a tremendous dynamic move rally in U.S. equities markets, moving them to new highs, of course, would have some dynamic effects on gold in terms of the fact that we have a risk-on environment. Gold would be down. And because we have a risk-on environment with equities doing so well, we would have that have a positive push for silver. Let's take a look at current pricing and you'll see what I mean. Gold futures trading off about $16.50 at $12.57, the low $12.51.90, the high $12.92. Again, tremendous range in the market, but we are closing off about, 1.25%, down about $16 on the day. The same cannot be said for silver. Silver is up over 0.75%, 0.88, up 16 cents at $18.54. That's traded to a low of 38 and a high of 99, extreme range. Of course, when we look at spot, we're going to get the same pricing structure, $12.57 and change, down about $20. That is for spot gold. Spot silver, again, up about, in this case, only about 3 cents, about 0.25% higher, so not the same gain, but relatively the same price. A lot of that on the shirt tails of what we're looking at is a dynamic U.S. stock market, especially the Dow, moving to a new record high, up 218 points at 18,807. Let's take a look at our first chart. So traders, absolutely no doubt, we have seen extreme volatility over the last couple of days. We have seen the markets move in ways that many of the pundits and analysts did not predict, completely counter to their prediction, whether it's who would win the presidency. Very few analysts out there, or pollsters, I should say, were looking at a Trump victory as a potential outcome to this presidential election, as well as the substantial rally that ensued in the U.S. equities markets, continuing today with the Dow Jones Industrial Average moving to new record highs, and that following the fact that we had the Dow Jones Industrial Average futures down 800 points just following the news that Trump did win the presidential election. We had gold rising up about $50. That was just the other day, and considering what we have seen lately, it is absolutely extreme, because as we look at this daily chart, you can see that we had these highs just yesterday sitting around 1334, and now we have a low today sitting at around 1251 right in here. That's a substantial drop in equity price, and the price of gold. And the fact is that it's still closed under pressure and closed down or off, now trading off about $14.60 at $12.58. The key, though, to me, or the most interesting thing I should say, is the fact that you've got gold moving substantially lower, and silver, on the other hand, moving substantially higher. We've just pulled up our silver chart. Silver trading up about 19 cents today, a 1% gain on the day at $18.57. Now, how do we look at that and how do we interpret that? Well, you've got to look at the fact that you've got a really runaway equities markets right now, and that equities markets is going to affect the industrial metals such as copper and silver. You can see that with the uptick. But when you consider that risk on, risk off, or safe haven play, the fact of the matter is, at this particular point in time, the outstanding belief is that safe haven is not necessarily the place for your money. Your money will grow faster in equities if we have a tremendous run. That's what we're seeing with the equities markets up and gold down. Silver running on the shirt tails of the equities markets without a question of a doubt, but this range, the volatility is still extreme. And I don't think that we've seen an absolute clear picture of the outcome just yet. I think we're looking at a moving target that could switch or turn on a dime, move at any moment. But for now, the signs are safe haven, no, risk on, yes, silver, yes. And so we're going to have to work within that context and develop a strategy that builds within that framework. So traders, to illustrate really how impressive of a move we have seen in equities this week, consider this. I've just pulled up the Dow Jones Industrial Average. We're looking at a weekly chart. So this one candle here represents all of the activity just prior to the election taking place on Tuesday until the close today on Thursday. This dynamic move has not only swung the market substantially, we've got an 800-point range between the lows here at 18,000 and the current high at 18,807. Prior top, record historical top coming in here at 18,600, and we have substantially moved above that. And to that end, lastly, I do want to look at the US dollar index, of course, putting tremendous pressure on the precious metals, which silver, without a question of a doubt, is able to overcome, and gold, without a question of a doubt, is not able to overcome, closing up about 1/3%, 98.82. And this, of course, is a weekly chart. This last candle, just as we illustrated the Dow, this last candle right here illustrates the activity that we have seen this week, and we have certainly seen the dollar move higher. And the interesting thing is, right as the news came out that Trump might be elected, we saw the dollar index just begin to sell off. A mini crash as it went down about 2% intraday, I should say intranight, because this was all during the evening, just following election results being released. And then the subsequent turnaround that occurred not only in U.S. equities, but also in the U.S. dollar. That's a lot for us to take in, and it's certainly going to be our topic that we'll cover on tomorrow's weekend review. I look forward to speaking with you then. This has been Gary Wagner, wishing you, as always, good trading. We'll talk to you tomorrow for the weekend review, and we've got a lot to cover. Talk to you then. Bye-bye.